Hi, hello, it's Nikki and welcome to my messy bookshelves. So today I am here because I just finished reading a book and I thought I would come on here and share my thoughts because I have so many feelings, and now that I'm on here, I don't know that I can articulate the thoughts that I have, but the book is Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, and I just finished reading this today. And I have been trying to formulate my thoughts because, oh my word, I cannot describe how I feel about this book. I think this is the first book that on Goodreads, I did not rate it. I did not give it a star rating because I don't feel like I can actually rate it properly. So, if you are unaware, this book is considered one of the most famous banned books. It is considered a modern classic, and the content that it deals with is extremely controversial. So I can understand why it was a banned book. But the content that is in here is something that I feel very strongly about and against. So if you are unaware, I will explain a little bit. Not something I want to talk about, but this book follows an immigrant from, I don't even remember what country he is from. He speaks French, but he is not French. He comes from an Eastern European country, and he migrates to the US. He has tendencies, and these tendencies are that he likes young girls. And this guy is a pedo, okay? He is a pedophile. And he migrates to the US. His family has some money, and he has a small inheritance, and he moves to the US to claim an inheritance from an uncle or something. And he is also an academic, so he gets a job in the US, and he is lodging with a family, and he marries the widowed mother because he fancies himself in love with her 12-year-old daughter. And this entire book follows his quote-unquote relationship with said 12-year-old daughter. So I follow a lot of true crime content, and this is especially one of the aspects of true crime that I think is the most despicable. And therefore, I don't know why I picked this book up, but I picked it up thinking it would be interesting to get a glimpse into the mind of someone who has these tendencies. And I don't know about the author. Probably not a pedo, but the way that he wrote from the perspective of one was just so unsettling. I think that this would classify as a horror book because the content in here was so disturbing. So I picked it up a few days ago, and I actually I made it about halfway. I thought I was going to finish it because it is a relatively short book. I think it's about 300 pages. I got to a little over 150 pages and I had to put it down for a couple of days because I just could not. And yet, the writing was wonderful. And at the same time, while I hate this type of content, I think that not only was his writing very well done, I think that he did an excellent job of portraying what the mind of someone with those tendencies thinks and feels, the delusions that they have, fancying themselves in love with a small child. So the writing, it was very descriptive. He has very long-winded descriptions of some things, and sometimes I am a fan of that. And while I was horrified and I put the book down, I also wanted to know how the book ended, because it was not very clear. You'll understand if you ever pick up this book. The way the book opens, you think that a certain ending has taken place. And I wanted to get to the end of the book to see what happened, to see what happened with what I thought was the ending. And I will not share whether that was the case or not. I will just share that I am glad that I read it. I did truck through it. Normally I would say, why would you want to read something that you felt you had to put down because the content was too disturbing? But I guess much like with my, I don't want to say enjoyment of true crime, but my fascination, I like to know why these things happen. So I am very interested to understand why these things happen and why the people that do these things do the things that they do. So we have here a not middle-aged, he's relatively young, but I think he's in his mid-30s, early 40s, and yes, he comes to the US. He marries a widowed woman who is like head over heels with him because he wants to get closer to her daughter. And then we see the absolutely crazy things that happen over the course of a short period of time where he fancies himself in love with this girl. And we see his descriptions of her, we see how he treats her, and we see how all of this plays out, and we see how it all ends. And I'm trying not to give spoilers, but I'm also trying to convey the fact that I found it very fascinating to get a glimpse into the mind of someone who has these types of delusions and feelings and things like that. So I don't even know if I'm gonna post this video because I didn't really say anything. I just shared my feelings, and I'm very conflicted because I enjoyed his writing. I hated what happened in here. I hate the content. But at the same time, I was also very fascinated. So I guess that this makes this a great book because I am thinking about it and I can't quite come to terms with how I feel about it. So if you are looking for a banned book to read, if you are following the 24 and 24 banned books challenge, which I wasn't because I came too late to BookTube, but if you are looking for a book to add to your list, maybe consider this one, because while I will not say that I recommend it to everyone, I think it's important to understand this type of content and to understand the red flags and to protect our kids, honestly. So yes, I am glad that I read it. It was difficult to get through. It was difficult to finish. And yet at the same time, I was turning the pages. I could not stop reading. So besides when I had to put it down because I was like, I don't know if I can finish this. So yeah, a rambling video just describing how conflicted I feel about this book. So if I have put this video up and you have watched this video, I thank you so much because I really don't know what else to say. It is insane and yet well written, and I feel very conflicted about it. So yeah, thank you if you have watched this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.